Story by Raf 987. Warning, typical horror story. A long time ago, when I was just a brat, me and my family at the time were at the hospital repast for various reasons. The reasons we were there often was due to family visiting, close family member hospitalized, me getting hospitalized, and various other related reasons. Yet, that time, for some reason, we were walking around at the back area for some reason I wouldn't remember. Just that we were just walking around at night. Then, I saw it. A singularly figure with long black hair dressed in white. You know the repast shop or canteen building? Yeah, the figure were walking out the building from the side and walking up at the side of the road. I was at a further distance back, just past the parking area and at the road looking at said building. So all that I saw was just the figure back. At that time, I thought it was just a nurse with unusually wavy uniform and frankly unprofessional hair. Then I turned to my aunt and pointed the figure out to the nearest family members. But as soon as I turned my head and back to look at the figure were gone. I remember that turned very unusually quiet and very quietly turned us away from where the figure appeared and gone. I don't remember much what happened next as it was long ago, but nothing much came of it and we went back to our room. I really didn't think much of it then, but I do remember that specific night vividly enough. I wish I didn't remember now. Story by No Figure 8391. I saw Pontianak before, just sitting and laughing next to me on my bed. You get stunned when you can feel the body lean behind your back. I was lying on my bed. Suddenly, I heard big cunning laugh. This happened sometimes in 2007 in Tutong and government barrack back then. Realized that I was very close to her. She was turning her head like 180 degree or 360 degree. But I couldn't see the face since the thick hair blocked her face. I was stunned. I couldn't move. All I can feel the heat from every limb going to the center of my body. In my head, probably that's what happened when someone got exorcised. The heat was spiraling in my body, but at the same time, I read few verses like Ayat Kursi, Surah An-Nas, until she disappeared. The end. Story by Jong_Stone. I used to work at an international franchise and was part of the pioneer team of the brand here. Like clockwork, when something is new in Brunei, the volume of customers flocking the store was overwhelming and the team had to work full shift. Don't worry, we were paid overtime for doing so, to keep up with the demand. For closing, we rotated so the staff working for opening shift for the following day had enough rest, and this story happened during my first time doing the closing of the store. At that time, it took us about 3 hours to get everything clean and sorted. Usually, it should take about 30 minutes to an hour max. With a lot of liquids in me, I had used the restroom. I am quite a scaredy cat, so I wanted to do it quick and opted for the urinal instead of going to the stalls. As soon as I unzipped my trousers to do my business, an entity with wet long hair covering its face suddenly appeared in front of me out of the wall of the urinal. It was inches away from my face. It smelled like wet gym socks, very unpleasant. My ears were ringing. Best believe all my liquids went back in and I ran while unzipping out of the restroom back to the store. My colleagues, of course, were puzzled why I was running like a madman. I didn't dare to tell them then, only told them when I ended my tenure there. Frazzled, I had the Quran radio channel on full volume and while trying to catch my breath and calm myself. That was not my last time encountering it or them. Story by Kujira 64. There was one time when I was hiking in Katuk area at night. At one point, I was lost, though the place is familiar, so I retraced the path. I encountered a person sitting near the waterfall. To make sure it's not a rock or tree stump, I decide to observe the person from a distance. I pretend to take a rest and keep moving as soon the person saw me. As I passed the person, I noticed the person is really dark. I mean, all his body is pure black. I didn't bring a flashlight, but I bring my phone, but I don't want to flashlight at someone's face. The person dived into a pool of water. I decide to ignore him, so I keep moving, but I get a feeling that something was off. So I observe it from afar for 10 minutes just in case the person has insane lung capacity. 10 minutes mark has passed. I turn on my phone flashlight and went to the water. The pool is waist to knee deep and crystal clear. I shone to the pool and found nothing but rocks in it. I'm still processing the possibilities, and I realize I'm in immediate danger as I'm still in the pool. I tried to get out from the water, but it felt too heavy despite it just knee deep. I walk away from the place and I unconsciously looked back and saw that thing again. I flashed the light at the thing and it indeed pure black. So I walk away from the place and I started to run as soon as I heard splashing sound because I'm sure as hell that thing will chase me. Story by Sore Throat 2-5. I got lost trying to find my own house. For a moment, I thought it was because I just moved in. No matter where I go, I seem to go back at the same spot. Everything seems familiar, and even with maps and multiple attempts to exit to the main road, I can't seem to do so. I ended up with the same spot I was lost. I feel like there is something playing with me on the road. I felt a presence. I can feel someone smiling when I was crying. The first time I was saved by a friend, it's so stupid because my house was only 3 minutes away from where I was. I also realized the houses around my area actually indicates that I was there, but I went past my simpang multiple times and missed it. The second time was at night, same spot again when I was lost, no other cars around. I wanted to recite Ayatul Kursi, but something is telling me not to or I will die. But I recited it anyway and found my way home shortly after. Who else has experienced something like this?